If you have watched previous episodes of the Bulang & Sons channel, you know I'm a huge lover of the Rolex Datejust. In my opinion, it's one of the best and timeless watches ever produced for many reasons. There are so many variations you can find, it is an endless world of exploring, and basically it's one of the best watches to get into the vintage watch world. There are so many dial variations that I love, but what do you know about the prototype dials? Welcome back at the Bulang & Sons channel, the channel for every vintage watch lover, and we give you insight into the beautiful world of vintage watch collecting by us experts. My name is Berend Bulang, and today I'm going to dive deeper on one of my favorite subjects into this world, the prototype dials. But to know more about these dials, we first have to go deeper into the history, how they came about, to understand the importance of these dials. The 1960s were a different era for the watch world. Especially for the world itself. There was a big shift in opinions, public opinions, but also in architectural design, in fashion, and these influence also had impact on the watch world. For example, brands like Rolex were struggling with their sales, especially if you look towards models like the Cosmograph Daytona and other sport lines. They didn't sell like today, and changes needed to happen. And unlike today, brands like Rolex didn't produce all their components in-house. For example, the dials were produced by different companies, like for example Lemmerich, Beyeler, Stern and Singer. Let's keep focus on that name because that's a really important name into this story. So in the 1960s, these changes needed to happen, and brands like Rolex asked the producer Singer to design new design studies for their dials, because at the end the dial is the face of a watch and the thing you look at on your wrist. And in the 1967 and 68 catalog by Singer, we can see some of the craziest designs ever produced. Some of the most important and all-time classic designs which we still enjoy today. It was a bold catalog showcasing designs into this new way forward, and some of the most famous ones are, for example, the Yardmaster, but maybe the most famous is the exotic dial, which we call today the Paul Newman dial. This design was not seen directly as we see today into this catalog, but the previous versions of this dial can. So as you probably hear, it is a very important book, and in my opinion the Bible of vintage watches, and so important to understand how these dial designs came to life. But not all designs were accepted by the brands like Rolex. Many were archived back into their folders and not thought about again. Probably because they were too funky and too bold for the Swiss manufacturers and didn't went into production. Never thought about again until these folders, these archives, came for sale at a German watch fair a couple of years ago, and then the vintage watch world exploded. But today I can confirm some variations actually made the cut and went into production. One of my favorite pages seen in the Singer catalog is the page regarding the Rolex Datejust, in which this beautiful block Marcus dial can be seen on the right bottom of the page. This dial went into production actually, and it's one of the coolest dials I have seen in the production Datejust. I think at the end it made the cut because it was not as funky as some of the dials seen in this page, but it suited in a new way forward. Really, what interesting is about this dial is the shape of the markers. A thing Singer is famous for producing because they designed some of the coolest markers ever. And I think this marker design really fits into that. What's so cool about the markers is the shape and the height of it. The markers are quite high, almost up to the acrylic crystal, but are very short, like a block. And really a cool benefit of them is they are filled with a mirror surface. So the light always reflects different into them. Sometimes they look white, sometimes they look black or a different color. And that is really cool. All these factors combined give it a unique feel on the wrist. It has completely the vibe of some of the other Singer prototype dials seen in this catalog, but in a more refined and timeless way. I love the design. It's one of the coolest and one of the most important in my opinion, because this is such an interesting era for watches, and this watch carries them all. It is a unique dial which you don't see, and it's only produced in small numbers. But to be sure about my story, I dived deeper into this watch. I took the dial out as well, and the Singer stamp can indeed be seen on the back of the dial, proving the story. I've done a lot of research about these dials, and with fully commitment I can say this is one of the surviving dials by Singer. It's such a cool watch, and we're going to offer it for sale, so go check it out on the website for more detailed pictures as well. because this is a watch you need to have if you are a Datejust lover or a vintage Rolex lover in general. It's one of the coolest watches we have had in a long time, and I wish I didn't have to sell it, but of course we are a company, and I'm happy to sell it to you to enjoy it in your collection. As always, we want to provide you with the coolest content available online, so go check out our Instagram, bulangandsons.com. Also check out our website, on which you can see all watches we are offering for sale, and always feel free to contact us with any questions you have. Cheers, enjoy this video, enjoy also the article which I wrote about this watch on our website, and we see you again the next time.